Hello and thank you for joining us for the 6th weekend of the first ever CoffeeMakers Festival, a digital series of new and old works. We would like to thank the community for having supported Coffee House Theatre Society, and we hope to keep creating theatre in Delta for many years to come. Before getting started, we would like to acknowledge with respect that we are all working, living, and creating on Algonquin, Cree, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, Tsawwassen, and Musqueam land. We realize that we are uninvited guests on this land and that the Indigenous communities across Canada are still facing systemic oppression and violence today. Finally, please consider donating to Black Lives Matter Toronto and Vancouver through us so that we are able to match your donations up to $500. We will continue to make efforts to share resources and knowledge with our community to help make a change. As Coffee House Theatre Society, we are all individually taking the time to listen to Black voices and help amplify them. We are also taking the time to learn. We encourage our community to do the same and keep donating and signing petitions. Tonight we will be presenting a workshop version of Light Rapid Transit, as well as a talkback after the reading with the playwright Shelby Satterthwaite. Now, please get comfy as the show is about to begin.
Hello, everyone. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve. No. I'm Steve McAllister, and thank you for coming to the Mount Pleasant branch of the Vancouver Library. Thank you for coming to Thank you all for coming out today. I've never written a book, or really anything besides insurance reports. So I'm not sure I'm really good at this. We're writing a book. I mean, I'm good at insurance reports. Stick to the script. Stick to the script. I've never written a book before. I've always wanted to. That's why I'm here. I'm going to be reading a short excerpt from my well, it's untitled. I will be reading an excerpt from my untitled novel for you. And where we're going to start is at the section that we're going to begin with is towards the middle of the book. And what's happening is that our main character has been slowly disappearing throughout the course of the story because, well, that's the logic of the book. I mean, if you don't make an impact on the world, then you will be erased. That's unfair. And well, they just came across a torn up, unmailed letter on the sidewalk, and there's sort of they're sort of at crossroads. I guess you could say whether or not to either deliver the envelope or delay their disappearance for a while longer, or accept their accept or their insignificance. Yes, insignificance. Okay, here we go.
A couple of months ago, I got this book out from the library. It was Women by Chloe Caldwell. And I mean, I haven't taken out a book from the library since I was probably like 11. And I wasn't even planning on checking anything out when I got there. The only reason I went inside is I really needed a place to cry that was quiet, but also public enough that it makes me feel like the main character in a coming of age movie, you know? Usually I would go to a church, because if you're crying in a church, everybody just assumes you're like super devout. But the library was closer, and I really needed to cry, so. I always knew I didn't really like boys. I mean, but I didn't think anybody did, really. I mean, I thought, like, just because I didn't like them didn't mean I wouldn't love them one day, right? I mean, Anna would always tell me when she would try and set me up with Ethan's friends, she'd be like, it's like you're looking for God, Liv, lower your bar a little. And I don't know, I hoped it was high standards or hormones or, I don't know, maybe trauma even though I knew, right? And then that day, outside the library, I saw her, Anna, and Ethan, across the street, holding hands and laughing, and I saw her looking at him, and just the way that she looked at him, like his eyes were made of stained glass, like a church, you know? Like God. So I'm crying in the self-help section, because where else, right? And I saw this book on the floor, Women, which felt pretty pointed, but also very main character, so I took it out. And now, 3 months and a major identity crisis later, I'm returning it. I never even got past the first chapter.
Series title: Connective Tissue. Artist: Parker G. Sarai. Medium: oil paint on canvas. Artist statement. Artist statement. Why do they even need an artist statement? Can't they just look at the damn paintings and figure it out? Okay, whatever. It'll be worth it, even if I have to transcribe the entire fucking series. The residency will be worth it. Okay. My emotions are tactile. I believe in love when I can feel my fingertips tracing the cheek of my partner. I believe in shame when my arms become phantoms. I believe in shame when her hands twist away from my body in front of acquaintances. I believe in fear when my arms become phantoms and my bones disappear, become limp and undemanding. In my work, I explore the the disconnect between touch and feel. Hands constantly reaching for one another but never meeting. Instead, grabbing hold of lifeless, bloodless matter. Jewelry, letters, bottles, knives. Arms tangled together in a web of intentions, goosebumps, and codependency. They may touch the objects, maybe even brush up against one another, but they will never touch. They will never feel a hand in theirs. Squeezing gently, pulling away, becoming weak, They are, of course, simply paintings. But can't this logic be applied in our lives? We reach for each other, touch each other, but how often do we feel each other? This is the question I would like to explore through this series and with help of this residency. God, this better be worth it.
My therapist told me that I have an individuality complex and problems with authority, which I think is kind of bullshit, by the way. But then she gave me all these brochures for universities, and I told her that I don't need them because you and I are traveling next year. And she said, I don't have to go if I don't want to, but I'd really be doing myself a disservice if I didn't at least think about it. So then I told her that I have thought about it. I have been thinking about college my entire life. When I was 11, my mom told me that I better start taking my education seriously because I certainly won't get by on looks alone. When I was in 9th grade, she said that if I got any lower than 90% in any of my classes, she'd spend my college fund on home renovations. I thought about it with every test, every report card, and every extracurricular. Most recently, I thought about it last week when I told her that she was in luck because I don't even want to go to university so she could finally have the kitchen of her fucking dreams. So she locked me out of the house and took my key. I had to sleep at Theo's for a week until she finally let me back in. And she still won't talk to me. It's been like 2 months, and she still won't speak to me. Then my therapist said, do you not want to go because you don't want to, or because she does? Then our session ended, and now I have all these dumbass brochures. UBC, Berkeley, Yale, Columbia. And I don't know, they look nice. Dumb, but kind of nice. And the classes sound pretty cool, I guess. I have always wanted to go to New York. God, Theo is going to lose his fucking mind.
So, I wake up at 9 a.m. First thing I do is check my phone, swipe through Tinder a bit, jerk off, get the blood flowing. And then I get up. Ethan's usually in the bathroom, taking his sweet time, so I do like this. Till he fucks off. Then I brush my teeth, rinse, mouthwash, which I don't swallow anymore, not after that one kelp phone. That was a disaster, Jesus. Rinse again, and then I wash my face with some stuff. This chick left at my house this one time. She was a frigid bitch, but her skin was fucking fantastic. Rinse. Sometimes at the right angle, I think I look a little bit like my mom. Rinse again. Theo says I have her nose. Rinse again. I think it's my eyes. They go kind of foggy, especially when I'm older. Once more with... Though your face feels like one of those paper mache masks you'd make in elementary school. We made masks in grade 5, and they were supposed to represent how we felt and not how we looked. And when we finished, we all went up to the front of the class and explained what we did. And everyone had these colors, pink hair and purple eyes and green skin, and some of them didn't even look like a face. It's just a bunch of shapes, like clouds. Everyone said they represented creativity or family, and mine just look like a rock. Just two eyes and a tiny mouth. And a smile. Rinse.
So, when I was 22, I made myself a very detailed 5-year plan. By the time I am 23, I will have a savings account with more than just a month's rent in it. I'll have an apartment to myself with no roommates, ideally in Mount Pleasant. I'll have a job that actually uses my public relations degree, maybe as an art director or marketing communication. You know, I'd even take a social media job. I'll have a driver's license and a box spring. 24, I will be making salary instead of hourly wages with freelancing. I'll run a successful campaign, maybe even get a promotion. Become a campaign manager for a startup or something. And I'll fall in love with someone appropriate, not my boss or my professor or some random one-night stand. Someone I meet naturally, like at a bar or something. I'll have a couch, a real one, a nice one from a furniture store. 25 and 26 will be major. My career will be thriving. I'll finally start my own PR firm. I already have the name picked out. It's called Old Dog Media. And I'll propose somewhere private in our home, I think. Over dinner. Nothing too over the top, just us together. When I'm 27, I'll be married. Maybe thinking about kids. I'll be secure and happy and satisfied. Well, I turned 25 4 months ago, and I work in an insurance firm. Not even marketing. I'm just a salesperson. And I am seeing someone. I met them online, which I guess is normal these days, but it's not like a proposal sort of relationship. It feels like filler. I love her. I don't know. My whole everything is out of order, and I'm apparently up for this promotion at work, and I don't even want it. And if I get it, I might as well be pissing away my 5-year plan, right? You know, even though I guess I pissed it away when I turned 23 because I never bought a box spring.
My first kiss was in grade 7 at an ice skating rink. Well, no, behind an ice skating rink with this girl who lived next door to me. I think her name was either Josie or Julie, I think. In grade 7, everyone was pretty much just discovering alcohol, so collectively, without even discussing it, the whole class decided that Friday nights would be skating night, and that skating night would be used as a cover to get absolutely smashed behind the rec center without our parents finding out, which is just as stupid as it sounds. I only went skating one time. It was January, and I was wearing 3 jackets when I left my house, which I remember Troy describing as extremely eco. And then on the way, Charlotte took one off and threw it over a puddle so her shoes wouldn't get wet, like in an old cartoon. She brought us a half-empty Mickey of vodka, which was gone before we got to the ice skating rink. And I brought a flask that I stole from Troy's room, which I found out later, like, kicked my ass later on, was full of Kraken. I already knew I didn't like drinking or drunk people, but I liked Sean. And she wanted to get wasted, so I told myself that I wanted to do that too. I kept wondering what kind of drunk I would be, because I knew there were different kinds. Troy's always been a fun drunk, a little erratic, but fun. My mom was usually a side drunk. Once in a while, she would get really functional, which was worse. Drinking made Charlotte brave and stupid. I remember watching her run out of the gas station across the street with a handful of lighters, laughing her ass off. She didn't even smoke, just started passing them out. Josie or Julie, I don't know, leaned over to me and said, "Does she know how crazy she looks?" And I knew right then that I was an angry drunk. Angry and really horny. The next thing I remember is me and Josie. I'm pretty sure that. Anyway, we were making out in the bush, and I wanted to leave, but like I wasn't sure how to just stop kissing someone. You know, would there be a cue? Maybe she'd stop eventually, and I just had to wait. Like I probably would have been there for hours if Charlotte had pulled me from the bush, yelling about some emergency with my dog, and I didn't even have a dog. We drank the rest of the Kraken on the walk home. Just had fun. I said sure. She asked if Julie was a good kisser. I said, I don't know. Then she asked if that was my first kiss. And I said, I wanted to say yes, but I could tell she already knew. So, and I could also tell I drank way too much. And I couldn't see really well. And I wanted her to think I was like cool, I guess. So I didn't say anything. And then she said that she always thought for some reason that I would be her first kiss. And then, well, I threw up on my shoes.
Hi guys, it's me. So, Sunday is Ethan and I's 2-year anniversary, and I really want to make it special, you know, and I haven't gotten a wax since like month 2, so I figured it'd be kind of nice, right, for both of us. I mean, he doesn't really care, like, honestly, but sometimes it's nice just to not have to think about having hair in places. I never used to think about it until one time I was in grade 4 and I had walked to school with this boy, Jeremy Johnson. He was a few years older than me, and I'd known him for pretty much my entire life. Our families would go camping together and have barbecues, and he would play Sims on his computer, and he always used my middle name. Like, ever since I was little, and I have no idea why. No one else ever did that, but he would always call me Anna Lynn, instead of just Anna. I pretended to hate it, but I was, like, in love with him, so it made me feel kind of special. Anyways, one time, school was almost over, and it was hot as hell, and I was wearing shorts, and, like, I don't know, like these nasty looking chinos or something. You know the ones. Anyways, so, you know, we're almost on our way to school, and then I start noticing that he's looking down at my shorts, and I'm like, I immediately start to panic, obviously. I'm going through the list of things he could be staring at, and I'm like, weird stain, is my zipper undone? Did I piss my pants? Anyways, we start to cross to the crosswalk, and he starts still looking, and then right when we're about to cross, he looks at me and goes, you know, you got some hairy legs, Anna Lynn. I was so mortified. I would have rather pissed my pants, because at least then I'd have a reason to run home. But instead, all I could do was laugh, like it didn't bother me. And the crazy thing is it didn't. I never thought about it until he said that. Like, I mean, I was like 9. Like, it never occurred to me that it was something I should care about. I was so blissfully unaware of my body. I mean, I didn't care what I looked like. I was wearing green plaid chinos. Like, I mean, after that, I wouldn't wear shorts to school for like another 2 years. It was like 30 degrees outside, and I'd be in my light-wash boy-cut jeans, absolutely sizzling, but at least I wasn't exposing anyone to my weird, gross body hair. I mean, it doesn't bother me anymore, like, obviously, but at the time, I was so embarrassed I could have died. I still think about it every time I shave. It's the first time I really remember feeling like my body wasn't for me. Jeremy was my first kiss, actually.
Oh. I always wanted to be an astronaut. Oh. I love space.
and space food. I love rocket ships. Oh, I love them. Elon Musk has nothing on me when it comes to loving rocket ships. We went on a field trip in elementary school to the science world, and we watched the Hubble documentary in this giant theater, and I felt like I knew what I was supposed to do with my life. That year, I had a science-themed birthday party where all we ate were those dry-freeze packs of food that astronauts ate, and I decided right then, right there, I would do whatever it took to get me to outer space. Even calculus. Space is kind of a dying industry now. People don't seem to think it's worth it to keep sending hunks of metal into space. And if they're not going to send robots, definitely not going to send humans. My girlfriend says it's because the ozone layer is decaying or whatever, but it's not. Space can be really hard to think about sometimes. It's endless, silent, and completely incomprehensible. I mean, mostly people just don't want to think about how small they are compared to endless nothing. But I like that we're small. I mean, if we were huge, like universal huge, then little things wouldn't matter. Weddings, discounted coffees, orgasms. Finding money in an old jacket would be like when a star dies, which sounds like a huge thing, but compared to the entire observable universe, that's just another Tuesday morning, you know? Anyway. I failed calculus last semester. Physics. So, I don't think I'll be going to space, but Earth's fine too. And, I mean, Earth is part of the universe, so technically, I've been in space my entire life. On a smaller scale, but still, space. And besides, I don't mind being small.
Definitely didn't wash all the conditioner out of my hair this morning. I look like a grease ball. I can't really tell. Can you tell I didn't get it all out? No, it doesn't look. Feel it. It's all greasy. No, it's not. It's not. It's good. You're good. So good.
Troy, have you heard from Mom?
Have you heard from Mom?
Can you not do this right now?
Can you not do this right now?
Theo, just ignore him.
Yeah, I try.
Yeah, I try.
Dick.
Just a quick little coffee date. We can get it to go.
Parker, I can't. I already told you. I have a meeting at 9, and Phil will lose his mind if we're not there by at least 8:30. Right, Steve? Right, Steve?
Hey, Troy, have you heard from your mom?
Want to get drunk tonight?
Yeah, sure.
Are you guys getting drunk tonight?
Yeah.
Is he all right?
Steve!
Yeah? Huh?
I said Phil will lose it if we're later than 8:30, right?
Do you know what this meeting is about?
We can't be 5 minutes late.
No, not today.
Alex, I haven't seen you all week because of work.
I know.
Liv, you want to go out tonight?
Alex, the only reason I'm even seeing you right now is because we just happened to get on the same sky train together. The universe is basically telling us that we don't spend enough time together.
Alex, the meeting?
Exactly. The meeting, Parker, and I'm sorry. Work is just crazy right now. It's the fourth quarter.
What that means?
The time of year when insurance companies, I don't know, Steve?
Normally, you never come out anymore.
And I've told you why.
You want a leash? Who on a leash?
Theo. Theo. Theo.
Alex, about the meeting Phil called?
I'll take you out for coffee next week, okay?
What?
Heard from Mom.
No, Troy, obviously not.
No, Troy, obviously not.
Theo, don't.
Jesus, would you fucking stop? You're such a goddamn asshole.
What? Sorry, am I an asshole? Am I a widow asshole?
Fuck off.
You really expect me to want to hang out with that?
Troy is way more fun at parties.
No, he's more fun when everyone around him is drunk and they forget that he's a little asshole.
Fine. Jeez. Remember when you used to be fun?
Oh, do you mean when I used to get blackout every weekend?
Yes?
No, Anna, it's called a blackout for a reason.
Okay. True. Oh, hey, by the way, have you finished the assignment for 217 research methods?
No, I didn't. That's for Friday, right?
Oh, God, neither have I. I'm planning on staying up all night Thursday on it. You want to come over?
Oh, hell yeah. I'll bring the coffee.
Perfect. I'll bring the wine.
Shit, are we already at Stadium?
Oh, shit, yeah, we are. Hey, babe, we gotta go. We're here.
Coming, dearest.
Not you, Troy.
She loves me.
You wish.
So, Olivia, coming out tonight?
Yeah. No, I mean, no. Sorry, I don't think so.
I think you mean hell yeah, I'm coming out tonight.
I just forgotten how to have fun.
I'm sure somewhere deep down you do. Come on, it'll be fun.
Sorry.
Minister, I always do. Let's move, people.
I'll see you at home, Theodosia.
Hello everyone, thank you for watching.
Okay.
That was just a new workshop version of Light Rapid Transit. Congratulations everyone. We're going to do a quick talk back, so if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm also going to do a speed run of introductions, starting from my top left. We have Jesse, who's playing Ethan. I'm Kate. I'm one of the producers of this festival, and also was a stage manager for this original version. And then we've got Rahat, who played Parker, Bruce, who played Steve, Hunter, who played Troy, Siobhan, who played Anna, Lincoln, who played Theo, Shelby, who played Olivia and is also the playwright, and Ella, who played, oh gosh, why am I blanking? Alex, thank you. It's on the screen. And of course, Emma, who played Charlotte. Alright, so first of all, I want to ask you guys about how we got here, and can anyone talk about what the original version of this was and where we started? Perhaps Shelby.
I feel like maybe this is appropriate for me to answer. So, okay, yeah. So, I mean, the show itself, in its full length, has been through, like, countless drafts. I could not even tell you how many Google Docs I have that are named, like, Light Rapid Transit version, whatever. There are so many. But essentially, I mean, how did we get here specifically, like on Zoom?
Yeah, well, Because we had an original version back in the spring, right?
Yeah. So the show was supposed to go up in March. Obviously that could not happen, which was very disappointing, but very understandable. And Kate was generous and kind enough to ask and reach out to me if I wanted to be a part of Coffee House's festival. And obviously I said, hell yeah, let's do that. And then luckily all of our cast members, with the exception of Adriana, who originally played Olivia, who is so incredible in the role, everybody was available to come back and be here for this, which is pretty amazing and feels pretty good as a writer to have a cast that wants to come back to read for your script. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, essentially it was just born out of a genuine love for riding on transit and people watching transit, and also boredom while riding on transit, to be honest. I was bored as hell on the bus. And yeah, and now we're here, and look at us now. Who would have thunk?
Well, I think for me as an actor, what's really interesting is that the original version, every scene took place on transit, like the brief excerpt of scene 1 that you saw at the end of the show. But with this new reimagined version, Shelby wrote 9 new monologues over the course of a couple weeks to get prepared for this and give us backstory on these people, and we got to know them quite well during the rehearsal process, but this just added a new layer of seeing them in their homes, like we do on Zoom calls these days. So thank you, Shelby, for all that work.
Thank you for performing them so beautifully, guys. I also think that I might keep the monologues in the full version. Also, I really do like them. Some of them might need to be reworked like a little bit, but I really enjoy them and I love watching you guys perform them. So they might stay. We'll see.
I have a question about that actually. For the cast, did reading these new monologues change your relationship to the character and how you approached playing them?
For me, if I may, I love that I got to actually interact with Parker's art. Like, it was a really awesome opportunity to, because up until now, Parker, of course, is an artist, but you see her on the SkyTrain. So you don't necessarily see her being an artist in any way, just dealing with the consequences of being an artist, which is often rejection. And which is, great, but to see her, anticipating a project and to see her hoping and dreaming and working hard and, putting her work out there, which is what all of us do all the time. That felt really great and definitely made me feel more connected to Parker and gave me a better understanding of her than I had before. I'm grateful for that, so thanks.
Cool, thank you. Anyone else? Was there anyone who, reading the monologue changed nothing about your approach to the character?
I guess for me, it, the nice thing about, because often the best friend or the sidekick character doesn't get a lot of love. So this monologue was a real gift, I would say, because you got to see sort of the working behind how his demeanor and how his approach to life came to be, and it was the first time we really got to see Ethan wants something, and then not get it, which I also think is something maybe you don't always get to see.
For sure. We have a question from Syra. For the wonderfully talented Shelby, what was it like acting in a play you wrote?
Oh, good question. Very weird. It's just about, I don't know, maybe, I think some people would probably feel different about this, because I know a lot of people who write are brilliant at it, so so good at it. I just have a really, I don't know why, I have a really hard time, like, maybe it's just like a taking myself seriously thing. I just have it's really weird. But it's fun, like, it's interesting because it's interesting when, like, your director or the people you're performing with in your cast or your crew, like, give you, like, a note or like an offer, and it's not something that you had thought about while you had written it. That's always really fascinating to me because I love seeing what other people discover in my words that I literally did not even consider while I was writing it. So it's cool, and it's also very weird, but I like it.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to have our original director, Carly Pokoradi, come back and work with us for a couple of rehearsals. So many thanks to her. We have another question from Pat Mooney. Was this derived or inspired from some people observed on public transport, or were the characters generated to explore something or an idea?
That's a very good question. A lot of the characters are inspired by people that I have seen on public transit. In my notes app on my phone, I have like pages upon pages of writing down weird shit that I've seen on the bus. I don't know if I should have said that word, I'm sorry. Wow.
There's swearing in the show.
Oh yeah, I guess there is swearing. Yeah, there's swearing in the show. It's already happening. But it's a combination of people and things that I have seen on public transit, interactions I've seen on public transit, and things that I've experienced, as well as things that I'm, I guess, curious about. So I think the characters are sort of like a mashup of things I've seen and maybe things I would like to see.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good question.
Yeah. Another question for Shelby from Syra. Was this the first show you've written that's been staged? What is it like to hand your play over to other people and seeing it come to life?
Oh my god, it's the best. It's genuinely like the best, most amazing thing. It's so cool. I knew like right away when I finished it that I didn't want to direct it or like be too heavily involved artistically with it. One, because I had spent like so long writing it that I was like, I think if I like look at it for too long, I will like lose my mind straight up. And then also because, like I said before, I find it so fascinating to see what other people will bring to a script that I never thought about, and I knew that we had the right people involved who could like really, really take it somewhere that I wouldn't be able to do on my own. So it's a pretty beautiful, very cool experience. What's it like for you guys, like getting to perform in an original show that's never been produced before?
It's the coolest.
Yeah.
It's the coolest ever to get to work with people that are also just like, you know, putting on a thing for the first time ever is, I think, just so exciting. And we get to be the first people to play these characters, which is pretty goddamn cool. So I'm into it big time.
Just to go off of that, like, it's awesome being able to come at something. You don't have to worry about what other people have done with it, like all the other performances you might have seen of a character, and you want that to influence you. It's just, it's like you're truly breaking new ground, which is pretty fucking neat.
It's really awesome being able to have the writer in the room when something comes up and you go, what is this? And like fleshing it out and kind of like you haven't always thought about those things, so suddenly it's two brains coming up with a new idea, which is kind of fun because it helps you feel like you're part of a creative process rather than a really well-established character is often quite distinctly something, you know, so it's nice to have the ambiguity.
Yeah, it's definitely nice having the writer there to just ask questions of. Okay, last question to wrap this up. Are you planning to remount the full show post-pandemic? And the answer to that
It would
is
be nice.
yes.
I actually am planning on. It really depends on when it's safe to remount a show. But as soon as it is safe to, I am absolutely doing that for sure. And just putting it out there, Kate. Looking for a producer.
Yeah.
Not to put you on the spot or anything, I'm just saying.
No, for sure. The answer is we'll remount the show when we have the money and the safety and resources to do it.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We actually just got another question from Pat again. As far as audience experience, are you aiming to give them a realistic, guilt-free, people-watching on public transit experience? Or is there topics or an idea in the text that you want to expose them to or leave them contemplating? Either or both is fine. Thank you.
Wow, that's a good question. I think that part of it is definitely like guilt-free, just like watching somebody live. I think there's something like so interesting just about the ways that we experience other people's lives through our own life. Does that make sense? Kind of. So yes, I would say that it's kind of like a guilt-free sort of like people kind of deal. But at the same time, I think the main theme that gets kind of explored throughout the show is just like how we connect with each other, how the ways that we try to connect with each other don't always end up being the ways that we actually do. So I think that that's kind of a big, like if we're looking for a theme here, I would say that's probably it. Or what I'm going for, at least.
And if I may add, I think this piece in particular is going to be very, like it's going to speak to a heart that I feel like has been kind of broken during COVID, because there's a sense of like wanting, like there's the possibility of connecting with folk on transit, and now that the world is changing and it's just not the same anymore. And I think this piece really speaks to that. And so I'm going to be very interested to see once things start to like return or like recreate a new normal, how this is like writing down history, really. Like this is making history, I feel.
And on that note, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. If you're able, please consider donating to Black Lives Matter Vancouver and Toronto and any of the other wonderful organizations out there. Next week is our last show of the festival, A Midsummer Night's Dream, directed by Cameron Smith. So if you're able, we would love to see you there. Thanks again, and have a good night.